YouTube Nation, Manfan TV, aka Me TV, aka Fanboys do not need to apply here, aka Rumble Young Man Rumble. That's exactly what's going to happen today. I got a lot to get off my chest. I am very disappointed at all of you at this point. I really don't care what you have to say today. We're going to get into this right now, because I got a lot to get off my chest. Man, let's just do this. Seriously, let's do this. Let's start with EA as usual. EA is getting ban happy. For those who don't know what happened over the week, alright, EA is starting to ban gamers who are actually being cursed at. That's right. Now, for those who don't know what's going on, EA on their forums do not like profanity, okay? They don't. But this gamer was very strong in his opinion about a certain game, and people came in. Now, mind you, he didn't use any profanity, all right? Because that's an automatic ban, right? But that's not all. No. See, the people who came in to trash him, they cursed him out. They used profanity. So the guy who got cursed at actually ended up getting banned, and now he can't play his games. That's right, that he paid for. That goes to show, I told you before, we saw this with Dragon Age when a guy said that EA and BioWare and all them, oh, they're working for the devil, and he got banned from his game. That's right. I told you before, last year, what, in November, that EA, this power play move that they're doing with this Origins will hurt you even more. It's about power. It has nothing to do with online passes and all this other. I tried to tell you before this. I tried to tell you, and you didn't listen, all right? Also in EA news, Battlefield 3, here's something that I want to show you guys as a stat, all right? It sells 8 million copies of 12 million units shipped. You understand? When you hear, oh, we shipped so many units, that means people pre-ordered, but it doesn't mean people bought them. It's still a good number, 8 million out of 12 million, but it goes to show you there's a difference between units sold and units shipped. Understand that, especially you parents. Now, let's keep going, because EA also has online pass. Now, mind you, online passes are supposed to, ensure, you buy it new and that you can play online, so you don't get charged. Well, here it is. Online passes now, they expire, even if you buy the game new. I told you before, this is about control, not about the used game market, not about anything else but controlling money. And guess what? All you online pass defenders, where you at now? Where are you at? Anyways, let's keep going. Also, EA is going to build a subscription model for Tetris. Yeah, for Tetris. You gotta be, you kidding me, right? Anyways, let's keep going. It just gets worse. Microsoft, in their new terms of service, because I told you last week the dashboard was coming. Now in their new terms of service, they add a mandatory binding arbitration clause in the new Xbox Live. That's right, in the new terms of service. You know what that means, guys? That means you can't sue them. That's what it means. Just like what Sony did and EA did. Now, there's something that people don't know. The new Sony update that just came out not too long ago, they revised their terms of service back to 2009. And I read the terms of service, and it had nothing to do with saying you can't sue them anymore. I'm just saying a class action lawsuit. I'm just saying. All right? Now, same thing with this. They're putting it in there so you can't sue them. I advise y'all, know I did a standalone video for this. Go opt out. I'm sure that the website has updated. Go opt out. Don't be stupid. Keep your rights. And it's funny because there's a nice little write-up about how video game corporations are taking away your rights as gamers and consumers. That's not all. There's also a write-up about companies saying to stop suing them just because they say so. Yeah, it's getting worse. And it's also a nice little write-up about how bankers actually run the business. And I'm sure we all know this by now. Bankers run the business and the companies listen to the bankers. It's all about greed on the banker's end. Remember, it didn't used to be like that. That's why, if you notice, a lot of, how can I put this, indie companies listen to what the fans do and listen, you know what I mean? And they make quality products where these other people, they just churn them out because of, the shareholders and things of that nature. There's a nice little write-up about it in here as well. Please look at that. Also, here's something that's pretty interesting. For all these, this bill that's trying to get passed, and internet, stealing, well, they think that people are stealing things on the internet and things of that nature. Yeah. The Swiss government declares that downloading for personal use is now legal. That's right. It's now legal. Also, for the Xbox, they will have two models. That's right. They'll have two models, one the 720 or whatever you want to call it, the 10, whatever they're going to call it. They're going to have two models at launch, just like the current Xbox, just to let you guys know. Also, in Skyrim news, this is not going to make Skyrim fans happy at this point. Skyrim 1.3 patch that's coming out won't fix the PS3 issues. Now, a lot of you guys sent me a lot of mail about it, and you're very upset. I understand you're upset, all right? But I'm letting you know now, this is not going to get fixed anytime soon. And it says here, there's an article where the developers say that fixing will take a lot of time. So here we go again, all right? Like I said, they want you to buy the game at day one, but it needs a lot of fixing. And I told you before, they rushed it, and a lot of you Skyrim fans came in and said, no, they didn't. They spent X amount of years on it. Well, they're admitting that it's going to take a very long time to fix. I mean, what else do you want? Stop being stupid. Anyways, let's keep moving. I told you I'm not in the mood today, alright? Skyrim is also coming out with a creation kit with steamworks coming in January. This is for mods and things of that nature for you PC guys, alright? So I'm sure you guys will look forward to that. Also, there's been a mod now for Skyrim for the PC Kinect. A gamer actually made that. That's right. Now here's the biggest news of them all, alright? Square is intimidated, for all we've heard, Square is intimidated to make a Final Fantasy VII remake. They're saying the scale of this game will be so large, they're going to have problems making it. And they're not sure if they can do it. They don't want to disappoint fans, but they want to make it, but they're also scared to make it pretty much. And the sad part is, we've heard for years, since that tech demo, alright, because that's what they're going on, graphics and this thing. Come on, man. Come on, stop. Alright, we don't need all of that. But this is what they're saying. The massive scale of everything has to be done, they're afraid that it's going to bomb. If they put all this money into it, that it'll bomb because you guys won't like it. That's what it comes down to. So for all the fans, signatures and petitions and voting, would you really like to see it? Pretty much they've been teasing you, and now they're finally admitting that they're afraid to do it. They really are. But you know what? Just because a company is afraid to do it doesn't mean a gamer is afraid to do it. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, a gamer has stepped up himself using the Unreal 3 engine and decided to remake Final Fantasy VII. For one guy to do that on his own, that's pretty damn good. I don't care what anybody says at this point. Seriously, give that man his credit. Anyways, let's move on. I have more Square Enix news for you guys, alright? Square Enix announces Just Cause 2 Ultimate Edition. That's right, for Europe. Just let you guys know. Also, sub fees will return to Final Fantasy XIV on January 6th. Now, we all know that Final Fantasy XIV had a lot of problems and Square dropped the sub fee for it because it was just, people were just complaining left and right. It had so many problems, and they said, we're going to fix on, we're going to work on these things and fix them, and then when we feel it's worth it, we're going to charge you. And a lot of you guys are still sending me messages saying, hey, it's still not worth it. It's still not, but yet they say it's ready and they're going to start charging you on January 6th, just to let you know. Also, framework is being laid down for Final Fantasy Type O sequel. Now, we knew this was coming due to the fact that Square said they're going to start making sequels. And we knew how long it took for Final Fantasy Type O, because a lot of you people were saying, just get on with the other game, you're still working on Type O. Well, now they're getting ready to do the groundwork for it. Alright, so anyways, let's keep moving on. Alright, Samurai and Dragons, that's right, developed by Sega's new online division. I'm telling you guys now, this looks pretty good. We'll see what comes with it. But if it's an online division, you can get ready to pay for that. You can get ready to pay for that. Anyways, Pandemonium for you EU guys. Pandemonium 1 and 2 is headed to the EU PS Store, just to let you know. Also, in Konami news, the outline content update for Pro Evolution Soccer 2012. Zelda Skyward Sword, we have to talk about this for a minute. Okay, Zelda Skyward Sword has a game-breaking bug. That's right, game-breaking. Now remember, just a couple months ago, I had reported that, developers were complaining that Zelda takes so long, to produce, that, it takes forever to make, and that they feel that they're missing out on a lot of money because they're not churning them out like, other companies are churning out their games. Well, it goes to show you, even when you work so hard on Skyward Sword, it still has problems. There's an article in the info bar for you for it, how you can get around it. Even if you haven't, experienced these issues, there's still a way around it. But it goes to show you, no matter how much you're working on this, obviously you didn't work hard enough if it's a game-breaking bug. Just saying. Now, I need to move on. We need to talk about the indie scene real quick, alright? Because digital indie-only platform Indie City has launched. That's right. It's only for indie developers. Guys, go check that out and support the indie, all the indie developers and companies. Also, there's a video in the link in the info bar for you guys on see how the little guys, how they make games, how the indie guys make games. But let's go even smaller than that. We're going to go back to the gamer front when it comes to making games. Because for those who haven't seen it yet, a gamer has stepped up and made a Super Metroid remake. That looks pretty damn good, and if you're interested in the Metroid remake, the demo is now out. The link is in the info bar if you are interested in downloading the demo. Now, I need to move on, guys. Ultimate Mario vs. Capcom 3. First off, fuck you, fanboys. I saw what you did last week in the comments and acted the fool. There's no reason for you to act fool. Just because a person sends me a complaint saying, hey, I feel that the tournament fighting, can be better. It can be upgraded. It can be improved. And, so you don't have to worry about cheesiness and all that. And I agree. It doesn't mean that it breaks the game. I never said that cheesy moves break the game, alright? Because that's up to the gamers. That's not the game, alright? But understand this. You guys had a fit because I agreed. Now, it's funny because I've been covering fighting games for about a year now, and I haven't had, and nobody has ever said a word about what I've said about fighting games. Now, since I agree with one thing, all of a sudden, here you guys come out of the woodwork. You gotta be kidding me. And it's pathetic because what you guys said made no sense. It made no sense. You lost in your little fucking debates, and what happened? You ran back to your forums with your tail between your legs where your dick-sucking friends can pat you on the back. Oh, he's wrong. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You were right. And then I got people messaging me like, don't mind him. You fucking destroyed those guys. You fucking destroyed them. And then you guys went back and started making lies up and shit. He doesn't know what he's talking. Have you ever, covered the fighting games of this generation? Motherfucker, obviously you have not watched my videos. You have not. How many times I've shown you guys new games that are coming out, fighting games from the indie scene or from gamers themselves? How many times I've shown you videos of documentaries on fighting games? How many times I've shown you guys about fighting games when it came to the difference between American fighters and Japanese fighters? How many times I've shown you guys, was it just 2 weeks ago, where I showed you what was going on in that rising fighting scene over there in South Africa? Get out of my face, man. This is bullshit. And then you're going to sit here and say, I'm not credible? Really? You're going to say, I'm not credible. And you say, well, you know, we don't need any more patches or balances because it wouldn't be fun if everything was balanced. Are you serious? Fighting games have always been about the interest of fairness and balancing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let's take one character, for example, Zangief. All right? When he first started, he was all power, but he was slow. And he rarely had a way to get around going past projectiles. Through the years, we have seen Zangief get new moves where he can avoid those. That's balancing. That's balancing. You fail to realize this. And when you lose these debates, it's pathetic. It's all you trolls. It's pathetic. When you lose these debates, you go on, well, he talks too loud. He talks too fast. He says everything at the same time. Understand this. I do this all in one take. If you can do this in one take, then I advise you get on camera. All right? That's all I'm going to say about that. But it goes to show you that you have no concrete proof to knock me down, that you got to grab at petty things to try to discredit me. I'll put it like this. If you're so good, because apparently I'm not credible. You know what I mean? Because that's what they're saying. Word on the street event is, you're not credible. First off, these motherfuckers ain't street. They're a bunch of internet nerds. And if they were, they'd come see me face to face. All right? Stop all the bullshit. They're just a bunch of fucking butthurt ass nerds. Let's get it how it is. Now, I'll say this. If you're more credible than me, then you need to start doing videos then. I'll put it like this. If I'm not credible, why do people come watch this show? If I'm not credible, why do I have thousands, and I say this throughout the week, thousands of mail saying, hey, Event, can you talk about this? Can you talk about that? All problems from different parts of the industry, from gamers all around the world. If you're more credible than me, why aren't they coming to you? Why are you sitting on your ass and just talking on the forum, talking shit? Because that's what you do best. That's what you do. But some of you guys, like I said, you talked about how all this balancing and everything, it doesn't matter, right? Really? Well, guess what? They just came out with a bunch of announcements that's going to make you look like fucking idiots. All right? Now, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Anytime throw tech is a glitch, it will be patched out. That's right. Also, here we go. They're going to get a patch by the end of the year that will take out Infinites and a bunch of other stuff. Understand, guys, this is balancing. You guys have no idea what the fuck fighting games are about. You're going to sit here and question me. I've been playing fighting games longer than some of you been born. But you're going to question me. Talking about some, well, the controller and the buttons, and when you do these motions, it makes it, it makes it easier for the person. You have to understand, I've been playing fighting games. Street Fighter 1 I played without a controller and some buttons. Understand that the first Street Fighter 1 game, you had to punch on sensors. But you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. Like I said, you're all about the now. No one said that you had to strip out what the tournament scene has already and replace it. No, you build on top of whatever you already have. You improve on it. There's always room for improvement. Always. But you guys don't want to hear that. You're all about the now. You don't think outside the box, and you don't think about the future. And you call yourselves gamers, you call yourselves fighting fans? The fuck out of my face. Now I need to talk about this real quick, because I'm not done with you guys yet, but I'm going to lump you in with the rest of the trolls later. And we're going to talk about you guys on Ninja Theory boards. Now, let's move on. Speaking of Capcom, I talked about last week how I was going to go to the Capcom forums if this kept up with all this harsh treatment that Capcom fans have been, receiving from, dare I say, higher-ups like Svensson. Right? Okay, and some of you guys came out and said, please, Event, come to the forums. Come to the forums and defend us. Now, look, I told you guys I would come to the forums, but I'm not going to talk to every little person and troll and carry on. No, that's for kids. Grown-ups don't do that, but I'm going to get on that later, all right? I came on the forums to talk to Sven. That's what I came on, or some mods or whatever, for legit complaints. And I treated them the way they're supposed to be treated. Now, here's the thing. When I signed up, because I haven't talked on a forum. Like I said, I read forums, but I haven't actually posted on a forum in maybe 5-6 years. So this is my first time. So I went out my way to help you guys out. All right? So I sign up, and guess what? I'm already banned. That's right. Without even posting, I was already banned. Capcom saw me coming. Why? Because they know what I do. So what happened? I had to get other people from the fan page to post it, to copy and paste my posts. No bullshit. We talked about this in detail on the fan page on Saturday. That's right. So this is, just to let you know, this is how they do things. So, I talked about, I wanted to stress first about the Final Fight DRM issue. I've been talking about it for quite a while, and they still haven't fixed anything. The link is in the info bar for you guys, all right, to show you just how mature I was, how adult I was. I told you there's a difference. What I do on here and just talk the way I do, okay. But when it comes to business, there's a whole different thing. That's the difference between being an adult and being a kid. Understand that, all right? Now, as we all know, Capcom always complains about people, when they talk to them, always cursing them out, always calling them a bunch of names. I was very respectful. I thanked them for their time. And guess what? Sven comes in, doesn't listen to a fucking thing I has to say, says that this is old news, and what he fails to realize is he thinks I just bought the game when I bought it on the first day. I reiterated many times I bought the game on first day, and I felt misled as a customer because I didn't know all the, the details, the information with the DRM. And Capcom admitted, and I even submitted the link where Capcom admits they messed up. I said, but just because you admit that you did wrong doesn't mean you've rectified the issue. It doesn't. I went into detail, and guess what? Sven says, this is not a big deal. We've already said what we had to say. That's it. And locks the fucking topic before I can even get a rebuttal in. That's right. It goes to show you it does not matter how you act with them. They will just act like a bunch of assholes to you. Now I see why the fans curse them out all the fucking time. I can see it now. Like I said, if you need to see what's going on, by all means, the link is in the info bar for you to read. And if they try to take down a link, I have all the screenshots for it. I have already notified the Better Business Bureau, because that's what adults do. That's right. That's what we do. And they're already under investigation. They told me it'll take about 2 to 3 weeks. We'll see what happens. I gave them all the information that they needed. And I know some of you guys will say, well, Event, that was such a long time ago, and the game was only $10. Look, I'll put it like this. Let's just say the game cost $1, right? And you say, oh, well, $1, that's not a big deal, so it doesn't matter, all right? But then there's another person that got $4, and another person that got $4, and another, and another, and another, and everyone thinks the same thing, all right? Well, it's only $1. But those dollars add up. They add up. But you know what, Sven? Since you want to act like that, and it seems like it's still the same thing, because a lot of you people are still complaining about Mega Man. I want to talk about this, because a lot of you guys came in last week and said that, oh, well, they're trying to make legit representations by putting Zero and Trombone in. No one asked for those characters. That's what you fail to realize. And if you look at the chart, Mega Man is still #1. That's the still most requested person. See, Sven, you should be listening and stop trolling, because Mega Man fans are pissed.
Mega Man! 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 Mega Man!
And anyone who says that's loser shit, so is messaging me at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning wanting to fight over some fucking video games. That is the epitome of loser shit. And before anybody says, oh, well, that maybe he's from another country. No, I checked that fool's deposit. He was from the United States and the East Coast. I'm not trying to hear it 3, 4 a.m. in the morning wanting to fight over video games. Get a fucking life. Get a life. Seriously, I don't know what the hell is wrong with you. But also, Sven, I have to talk about this a little bit more. Sven, it is very fitting that when you responded to me, that the profile picture, it fits you so well that it was a pig. Because you are a pig. And people actually back this guy. You've got to be kidding me. And some of you guys say, oh, well, I do videos. Whoop-de-fucking-do. You did a 3-4 minute video on a combo. Ooh, that really helps the community with all their serious issues with going on with companies. Bravo. Fuck out of my face, man. Seriously, and more fighting news. Yeah, and more fighting news. Atlas is having problems with King of Fighters online play. That's right. A lot of you people messaged me about this saying, Event, I hate my online play for King of Fighters. It's laggy. I can't do anything. And then the other half of you said, I don't have a problem. It's smooth. Well, Atlas is saying, regardless of it's your connection with her, Atlas has responded to your complaints, and the link is in the info bar for that. All right? Now, let's move on. South Park RPG will be coming. It's announced and is made by Obsidian. Just to let you guys know if you haven't known already. Also, we talked about this last week. Xenoblade will be coming to North America. Now, I know a lot of you guys said in the comments last week that, I don't want Xenoblade, I want the other games. Well, you should know by now, it took forever for these games to be localized, all right? Or should I say brought over to the West. So you know how Nintendo's going to do this. They're going to make you buy other games in order to get the game that you want. And I know it's wrong. It is, all right? But that's what they're doing. If you buy Xenoblade, the other ones will come over. That's pretty much how this is going to work. Also, Army of 4 is in development. It's a rumor so far, but it looks like it's going to be true. Army of 4 is, remember, the 2 previous titles was called Army of 2. But now Army of 4, so whatever. Also, in more shooter news, because that's what it is, Treyarch is developing, check this out, a direct sequel to Black Ops. That's right. So, once again, more likely that will be the Call of Duty that will be coming out next year. Black Ops, the sequel. It makes no sense, but that's really not big news. We know what Activision does with that. In bigger news, in sad news, parents let a baby die to take care of a virtual baby. Yeah, to take care of a virtual baby. They let the child starve so that they can take care of Guys, what the fuck? And I say this all the time, all right? I do. Because I said that every time they say, well, the kids are, they're being brainwashed, they're being influenced, and they're becoming addicts to video games. As you can see, it's not the kids, it's the parents. I've said this how many times? I'll talk about that in a little bit, because some of you people who are parents or even grown-ups, you're fucking wrong. And I'm going to get into you in a minute, all right? But in lighter news, because I'm going to give you a little bit of lighter news before we move on to the heavier news. In lighter news, buy a wooden Neo Geo, and it actually helps society. It helps charity. It helps people. That's right, buying a wooden Neo Geo. Also, Rule of Cool RPG system focuses on cinematic gameplay. All proceeds go to Child's Play. Now I need to talk about you grown-ups. I've got a ton of mail this week about a lot of you grown-ass people being on Capcom forums and Ninja Theory forums trolling kids. What the fuck is wrong with you? What is grown-ass men and women? What the fuck is wrong with you? And these are people saying they're 28, 29, 30 years old. You should not even be on a fucking forum at this point. What is wrong with you? When I came on earlier this week, like I said, in 5, 6 years, it was to talk to other grown-ups about an issue. That was it. You guys are on there all day, every day, trolling people. What the fuck is wrong with you? Seriously, if you're going to be trolls, you know what? If you're going to be trolls, then I guess this is what you deserve.
Mountain goat to the cooch.
The amount of trolling going on over there is pathetic, and you adults should know better. You really should. There's no way that you can sit here and want to be respected as an adult without trying to act like one. This makes no sense, but you know what? Let's get into it, because I've seen what you guys had to say over there. For those who don't know what's going on, Devil May Cry Part 4. Now, mind you, I did Devil May Cry Part 4, what, November 16th? Yeah, it's just now hitting over their forums over, was it last weekend? So now they had this big outcry, they're complaining, they're crying, and of course they do just like every other troll, try to knock you down because of what you say. And one guy said, well, I would say that event is wrong and I could prove him wrong, but I don't have the time. Bullshit. Bullshit. Don't see, this is where you have liars. People like me who do things in real life and people like them who don't do shit. And I'll put it like this. If I can go to work, hang out with friends and loved ones, if I can go out and play sports, if I can come home and do videos on sports, play video games, do videos on video games, and do the documentary for my city, I'm not trying to hear that you don't have the fucking time. I'm not trying to hear that. All right? You're making excuses, pathetic excuses. But you know what? Speaking of the documentary, that's right. People have gotten back to me on this. I'm going to give you a little bit of information real quick. This is what somebody sent me. Good day to you, event. I stumbled across your video feed one day while looking for something else, but thankfully I did not close the window before I figured out you lived in Philly. I must say, I enjoyed watching your video and getting caught up in the topics you discuss. It took me a while to go through them so I can catch up to the backstory, but I'm glad I found you right at the point you are. Now, let's keep going, alright? Because yeah, I want you to pay attention to this shit. It says, I like your idea about Philly arcades. It says, and I'd love to help. I finally joined YouTube so that I would be able to send you this message. It says, I agree that now is definitely the time to get moving on this project. You mentioned the sports field at Aramingo and Lehigh in one of your videos, so I'm assuming you've already heard about the barcade at Frankfurt Ave. It says, though this arcade is for 21 and plus. I think it's a step in the right direction. This is people in Philly, so y'all know what I'm talking about. This is legit, all right? It says, Barcade certainly proves that there's a thirst for some good arcades in the city. It says, I heard about the frustrations you are having with speaking to the mayor's office about this idea. My heart goes out to you. I'm an engineer and working for the city. It says, while I do not condone the runaround the mayor seems to be giving you, I do understand some of the motives behind his actions. I think I can provide you with some insight of this side of the equation. It says, now that I've caught up with your train of thought, it says, I might be able to find the right people to talk to and, who will listen to this arcade idea and take it seriously. See, people? It's moving. But let's keep going. It says, This sounds like a big part of the problem. The mayor clearly has no idea of the benefits this could provide. It says, and he hasn't heard it through his channels. That's the biggest problem. It says, I do think this idea will garner much support if the correct individuals understood its potential. That's what it says. Now it says, I have some ideas of my own I'd like to add to the mix, but I would definitely like to help with the legwork too. I look to offer any help I can. As an engineer, I also love to see good projects get off the drawing board. This idea has tons of potential. It says, I looked at this as a challenge, not as a losing battle. It says, from one Philly man to another, this is our city. Let's take good care of it. It says, I just subscribed to your video feed, so you have my support. I'll do the best to help as I can. That goes to show you people, I make moves. That's what happens. You people get on forums and trash others while I'm out there doing something. There's the difference. Like I said, if you people were so fucking good, all right, if you were so great, then why aren't you doing anything? Why aren't you making videos to help the community? And then you got the nerve to say that I am not credible. You go on to say that my show is comparable to Fox News? Are you serious? So you telling me when I went after Fox News, when they said that violent games should be banned, and because that's what you said, I'm biased towards Ninja Theory and Capcom. Really? Really? So when I went after Fox News, and when they said video games should be banned, I backed you guys. I backed you guys. And that goes for the companies as well. That goes for Capcom and Ninja Theory as well, because they make violent games. When Fox News said that video games causes bullying, I backed you guys. Did I not? I didn't hear a word then. When Fox News said that video games disrespect the troops, I backed the troops on that. Did I not? Not one word was said. No. When NBC said you gamers, all you are a bunch of, you just live in a damn basement, I backed you guys. I didn't hear anything then either. When CNN said that, that gamers lack ambition, I backed you guys. I didn't hear a thank you then, did I? All these things that I have done, and this is how you treat me, and everything's in the video log. It's in the catalog. So there's the proof. Don't sit here and say that I am comparable to Fox News when all I've done is back you guys and destroy them in every major media circuit, time after time after time. And you get on IGN and carry on. When I show you guys that Fox News, that IGN and Fox News, guess what? They're sisters. That's right. News Corp owns both of them. I showed you that. But y'all won't hear that. See, it's pathetic because the same people that you sit here and disrespect like me is actually helping you. This is the thanks I get? You ungrateful little motherfuckers, let me tell you. And then, no, that's not all. You guys go on to now want to round up a posse? Is that what you're doing now? Because now people are telling me, they're trying to recruit people that'll do videos so that they can go against you. All this for a video game. First off, I put like this. You're late to the party, like I said. You're coming in on the 4th video. I've been doing Devil May Cry videos. The first Devil May Cry video was done in September 2010. Nothing then. Alright, when I did the Devil May Cry Part 4 video in November 16th, that was 3 days after you guys had finally figured out I had did a Devil May Cry Part 3 video, which was done 5 months before that. And you're now you want to come in and try to make a video? You know how stupid you would look? You know how fucking, I'll play this, and even if you made a video, the only people you'd be pushing right now, because you're not, fair, I'm just giving you the news. You have to understand, I'm not against Ninja Theory, I'm against companies lying to customers and treating customers like shit. That's what I'm against. It has nothing to do with Ninja Theory. I even went on the first video. I loved Heavenly Sword. Loved it. I didn't get mad at Ninja Theory until the second video when they start insulting customers. Don't give me this bullshit. Okay? I'm not trying to hear it. But that's not all. Let's hear this. Look, let's get in this. Because this is what fans have sent me already about the new Devil May Cry trailer that you guys are boasting about over there, alright? It says, okay, I just saw the new DMC trailer called The Fight. Something isn't adding up to me. It had 305 views, but yet 800 likes. That's right. Do you think they're tampering with the likes option, as well as the disable comments? We've seen this before. Don't tell me that all of a sudden that everyone likes this game now. For a whole year now, we have seen nothing but negative, negative comments and negative, and dislikes. We've seen that. All right. Now all of a sudden, everyone all of a sudden likes it. It doesn't add up. Bullshit. But let's keep going. All right. This guy sends me a message and saying, "Damn, Jones and Timmy and two guys are just full of it in the new interview. It's their own self build-up, and they're not discussing things the fans and consumers want. This is a joke." Guy leaves me a link. Then it says afterwards, when he's watching that new Great Escape trailer, and we're going to talk about that for a minute, all right? It says, in a new gameplay trailer, The Great Escape, which is not so great, where the environment doesn't really kill Dante, it says you only avoid falling and forced into some areas. It says, come on, 15 months, and that's all they got to show off? It needs to be more impressive than that. And a lot of people have been sending me messages about how you guys, oh my God, how you're just boasting over this when it's pretty much, it's the same style of arena that you got in Devil May Cry 4, except it moves now. So you got the same pretty much predictable setup, and then it just moves every once in a while. That's all it is. It's a set stage. Any way you see it, it's still... Anyway, man, don't get me started, all right? But you want to go round up your posse, go ahead. You know, for a person that's not, you know, that's not credible, you know, me, I'm not credible, that you claim, you sure as hell putting in a lot of effort to make sure that I get bagged on, that you discredit me. If I was incredible, you wouldn't watch the fucking video. No one's putting a gun to your head to watch it. But you're doing all this work, all this legwork that you could have done by yourself. I'm not trying to hear that no one has a camera. Hell, cell phones have a video camera you can upload to YouTube. I'm not trying to hear that shit, all right? But you want to put in all this legwork to try. You know how pathetic you look, guys? You disgust me. You really do. This is not how gamers act towards gamers. I told you before, this show is built for a consumer basis. It's not just about hardcore gamers. It's about casuals and also parents that need to know information. You think that you have figured this out when I did, was it DC Universe? We all know how that figured out, you know, how that came out. You guys keep saying, you know, wait till the game is out. I started predicting what was going on with DC Universe 9 months before it came out. And I went up against a huge fan base of MMO fanboys and DCUO fanboys and comic fanboys. You don't make up 1% of that crowd. You don't make up 1% of the Devil May Cry crowd. You don't make up 1% of the Capcom community. And yet you think you're going to come in here and try to take me down? Get the fuck out of here. What's wrong with you? But that's that arrogance again. Like I said, you are guilty by association. And when Tamim and Alex have arrogance and you support that, that tells me you have arrogance. I asked you guys one question the entire time in that video. From an adult standpoint, I said, I don't want to hear you like the game or because you felt you weren't threatened by what they said or anything. No, I asked you, why is it okay for a company to disrespect their customers? That's all. I don't want to hear I, because this is bigger than you and your wants. That's what I've told you before. But yet, all this complaining you're doing, all this blaming, you can come in the comments and call me a bunch of names and carrying on, but you don't answer that question. Because you can't. Because you know it's real. You know it's true. And anybody who still has to round up some type of recruit people to try to knock me down, it means I'm a threat. And you know that. That's exactly what it tells me. It means I'm doing something right. I told you, there's a difference between being an adult and being a fucking kid. And right now what I see, none of you are adults. And that's not just towards you Ninja Theory fans that are for the game. That also goes to you people who are against it as well. Alright? There's no reason for you to go on their forums and curse them out either. Now I'm being fair. The same thing on the fan page, on my fan page. Fans, if you don't know how to act, I will shut that shit down. Stop cursing each other out. That is not what a video game community is built on. We're all going to have difference of opinions, all right? You have to be tolerable, but you also have to understand a video game community is supposed to stick together through thick and thin. You do not let these guys divide you. We've seen it last week. Gamers once again came together, and what did EA do? Because they went for this class action lawsuit. EA said, no, we'll just give you 1943. We'll give it to you because the gamers stuck together. That's why. When they divide us, that's when they make their money. But you don't want to hear that. Everything I'm saying is probably just going through one ear and out the other right now because you're just, whatever. Because you're so fixated on the insults that I've thrown at you. It's pathetic. You're disgusting. And yet, I'm the one that's the bad guy here, huh? No. So from now on, when every little new updated fighting game comes out or when this Devil May Cry game comes out, this is the only thing we're going to see of you guys paying for the game. You have no honor and you have no loyalty to your peers. You know what? I don't even need this shit, all right? I'm going to show you loyalty right now. Now, for those who know I'm getting ready to show, I showed this on the Twitter, well, a couple days ago, all right? I want to show you this. This was when I was down there doing the documentary, and I took pictures to show you guys on the Twitter of the, was it rundown basketball courts that need to be renovated. Look at this. Ballers just came up to me and was giving me stuff. Look at this. Gucci belt. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Just to say thank you because they know what I'm doing. Look at this. A pair of fucking Jordans. Look at this. Pair of Jordans. All right, that's what people do. That's loyalty. That's what people, when people recognize when you're going all out to help them, they back you. That's loyalty. That's something that you people will never understand because you sit on a fucking forum all day and bitch and moan and waste your life picking apart people's posts. Yeah, well, you didn't think I didn't see that shit? Get out of here. You are grown-ups. Act like them. I don't know how many times I can tell you that. But instead, you want to act like this, huh? Like a bunch of fucking cowards, like a bunch of fucking bitches. That's fine, but you know what? That just shows me you're not in my league. That's what it tells me. And that's not no bragging, it's a fucking fact. If you have proof by now, you'd have already submitted that shit. I'm not trying to hear it. Fuck you, I'm done with this video, fuck you.
I honestly doubt that they're all here for the sake of the Han. I'm sure they must all have ulterior motives.
For the time being, I am just observing.
We need a home, one that can rival those of Cao Cao and Sun Quan. Divide the land in 3 to unite it later.
If your leader is not worthy of the throne, then you must do what you think right.
Our numbers are insufficient, but they fight for you.
I know.
Destroy any man who dares to oppose us!
Brother! We all have faith in you.
For our new land.
A new land!
We go together.
Yes!
To do what it is that we know is right.
I'll help you too.